Today is yesterday's tomorrow. You probably heard that one before. And you should recall yesterday when we were talking with Carrie at Cellar Dweller, he was saying that Loomis is scheduled to deliver the shipment tomorrow, which is today. So all we can do is hope. Cellar Dweller will be open in about 15-20 minutes. And then, all we can do is just hope. It will be, though, that if the shipment isn't delivered until late today, we won't be having a box opening video today. We'll have to wait until tomorrow. However, I'm going to anticipate its arrival today. I've already switched my car on because it's cold outside again. And by switching it on, that means that the block heater in the engine is going. It's for those of you who don't have to do that, there's a little element inside the block of the engine in the water jacket. And it heats the water up a little bit so that the engine will start easier. And it draws about 500 to 700 watts depending on which brand you have in there. You don't want to be leaving it on if you don't need it. But usually, even on the coldest day, if I have it turned on, it'll warm the engine enough in about 2-3 hours that it'll easily start. You can tell by the way it cranks over. If you're living in Texas, you don't have this problem. I put the segmented bowl on the table to remind me to say I realize this series is completely different. It's not starting out at all the way I had planned. So much for being mindful, right? Anyway, this series is completely different. I can't think of any other series except maybe the one that I did about 9 or 10 episodes on strange beliefs and legalisms. I mean, that was different. Don't look it up. I did this about 18 months ago, I guess. And you may recall I wanted to see what was the largest bowl I could turn on my lathe without having to have the headstock swing over the end of the lathe off the side. Then of course you could do something probably 4 or 5 feet in diameter. But who's going to do that? No, I just wanted to see what was the largest bowl I could turn on my lathe. And this is it. You can't do it any bigger than this. When it was roughed out, it was actually hitting the bed of the lathe. And I had to sort of trim it down so it would actually start to turn. And it's now maybe only a 1/4 of an inch smaller than its maximum size. I just turned it down just enough to get rid of the rough. And then I contoured the rest. Anyway, But this is about a model ship, not about a bowl that I did a 1.5 years ago. I'm going to anticipate that Carrie is right, and that the ship is going to come today, and that we will be getting a call, and then I'm going to be needing a space here, so I'm going to clean this up in anticipation. We'll see how it goes. As Columbo used to say, one more thing. Anyway, this morning I get up, make my coffee, switch on the computer, and among other things I check the comments from the video that I posted the day before, which in this case was yesterday's video number 30. And there was, at that time, I believe there was 18 comments. By the way, thank you for your comments. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm not going to be replying to yesterday's video. It's partly because at this point I don't know what to say. I'm just going to leave it. I read everyone. In fact, I read everyone twice. Thank you. Speaking of comments, probably 2 or 3 years ago, somebody said to me, I don't understand why you don't have more viewers, and or not so much viewers as the number of views is not all that great compared with other people that are doing much the same thing as I am. And I don't know if he was trying to make me feel good or what, but anyway, you will notice something that I never say at the end of my video. Please like or subscribe. The reason they're saying that is because they're allowing advertising, and you get a little bit of money. I don't know how much, but probably a little bit, just for fun, probably just a fun thing for them. I don't think anybody's getting rich on it, and I don't want to be getting into that. I want to, you might say, keep it small, sort of this intimate little group that we've got going here, and I'm just doing this just for fun. I'm not doing it for the money. You will never see advertising pop up on my channel unless YouTube makes it mandatory. And it could be that someday they'll come to somebody like me and say, hey, you've got 1,500 videos or whatever on your channel, and we're not making anything on it. Well, I think they indirectly are, but that's neither here nor there. I don't allow advertising because, well, and that's why there's the number of views per episode are not all that big. Maybe, well, some of them there's a few thousand if you go way back. I think the one that I got the most views on is when I tried to make a spoon gouge out of a tablespoon or a teaspoon. I think that one got a lot of views. Anyway, I'm rambling here. Just wanted to let you know I'm not going to comment on yesterday's episode, but I did read all the comments. Now we'll just have to wait. So I was just back editing out that last scene. The phone beside me rings. The call display says cellar dweller. I answered the phone and I says, is this the call we've been waiting for? And Carrie says, it is. I've got a box here for you. Well, we're gonna go get it. Told him I'll be there in about an hour. So I'm gonna take the little camera along, snap a few pictures, and you get to see the inside of a Canadian hobby shop. Anyway, let's hope the rest of the day goes this good now. Well, folks, you're seeing it as it happens. I haven't even taken my coat off yet. I wasn't actually expecting it to be here until this afternoon. So as you can see, I didn't prepare my model table. But we'll sort of make a little bit of room here. Okay, let me get my coat off. Oh, by the way, I did take some pictures inside the model store, and we'll go through those first maybe. After all, we waited a month for this, we can wait another few minutes. And he gave me a discount without my even having to ask or hint. So he felt genuinely really bad. I was in the store for at least half an hour, and I got the honest impression that he was telling the truth about the first shipment getting lost, because he was just I just had that impression. And also the other employees, if he had been lying, I would have been able to sense it from the looks on their faces. So I think it was just a fluke. My first shipment got screwed up. Anyway, we can talk more about that later. Just let me catch my breath here. Now, when I was walking around snapping all these pictures, I was sort of talking to Carrie and reminiscing a little bit and asking him a bunch of questions, about. I was asking him how his dad's doing and so on, because his dad actually started this store way back in the 70s, and when Carrie was just a kid, and yeah, it was quite interesting. His dad's doing okay. He's still flying models, and his dad actually helped me get my first model in the air. He test flew it, in other words, for me. And yeah, I had a really good time out at the model airfield. Uh, that was a long time ago, I guess now. Anyway, when I was looking around, I saw a particular model in a display case, and I was looking at it, and I knew it was sort of a collector's item type thing, and Carrie was telling me that that model was made in 1947. In other words, the year after I was born. And I was mentioning to him that it looked a lot like the models that I used to buy when I was a kid. I would have been about 10 years old. At that time, they were called dollar models, I think, which would be about like a $10 or $15 model now, I guess, because this would have been back in the, oh my goodness, it would have been in the 50s, I guess. Yeah, it would have been in the 50s. Yeah, wow, where are those years gone anyway? So bottom line, folks, is I once again have a good feeling about Cellar Dweller. All the misgivings that I was, developing over the past, month, they've been sort of subdued. And once again, I feel good about Cellar Dweller. They will continue to get my business. Yeah. Now, once again, just one more thing. This model that you're looking at here, as best I know, this was built from scratch. Carrie's dad built it, and I believe it was a prize-winning model. And speaking of winning prizes, Carrie's dad was actually the Canadian RC champion, and I think he competed internationally and won some prizes. There's a lot of knowledge in this store about flying models. Not just the plastic that I'm sort of trying to do right now. I mean the real thing. Uh, and Jim, I think Jim was into sailplanes. I was big into sailplanes when I was getting out of RC. I actually enjoyed sailing a lot more than I did the what we called the greasers. And we called them greasers because your plane was greasy after you flew it, with all that castor oil coming out of the fuel. Yeah, I really enjoyed sailplanes. Now I just had to throw this in. That's Carrie's dad on the left, and this is many years ago, back when I had hair. And Carrie's dad's given me a few pointers there how to get started. That little model on the ground, well, that was what was known as a SIG cadet. It was my first successful flying model. Anyway, like I said before, a lot of years ago. Well, I know that some viewers had already guessed it was the Bismarck. Now, did you guess it was this particular one? I don't know. This is going to be the very first time I've opened it. I haven't opened it yet, believe it or not. I've been busy editing out all those pictures that I took in Cellar Dweller. And the time just really got away on me, especially when I started going through some of the old pictures that I had of myself. Now, I'm surprised this isn't wrapped up in cellophane. Okay, this looks like a painting diagram. And here's the manual. I am going to be wanting to photograph this. Now I guess the different sprues will be in these different boxes. I already kind of know what this kit is about. For instance, this is a standalone kit. It's of the turret only. Well, we'll talk about that tomorrow because we're kind of running out of time here today. We'll go through everything item by item tomorrow. The main hull. Okay, there's the main hull. As you can see, it's quite large. Yeah, the hull and the deck, the main deck is all one piece. The deck is one piece and the hull is one piece. So, except I do believe that in the bow, where the bulbous bow is, I think that I have to assemble that. But we'll be looking at that tomorrow. Anyway, you know it's here. I know it's here. And I am a little bit excited about, looking in all these boxes, and we'll get out the parts list and make sure that all the sprues are there and nothing's missing. Because if there's anything missing, now is the time to know about it. Not when I get to the place where I need it. I think that's it for today, folks. Got to get this video posted. If I don't get it uploaded, you're not going to be seeing it today. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.